You straight up cuckooed that dude, bro. Oh my God.
You've got all your Charger gear on because
I look good. I got big energy every day. Let's go!
And he is dicked.
Blind squirrel finds a nut every once in a while.
That's right.
You have to love what you're seeing on tape if you're a Chargers fan, especially for the future with Justin Herbert.
On the move and throws and touchdown.
Players, coaches, staff, fans, together we can create something truly special.
Stay tuned for some good content.
Well, happy Friday, everybody, and welcome back to the Charger Chat. I'm your co-host, Wolldog, sitting with my buddies, Kev, Hug, and Duggan.
Well, hey, guys, how are ya?
Okay, and let's not forget Kyle, the coach, Duggan.
You okayed me. How dare you?
Hi, guys. I am not Mickey Mouse.
All right.
Oh, shit.
Oh, damn. All right. Well, folks, lots to talk about this episode. We've got some postseason pressers from the general manager, Tom Telesco, and our beloved coach, Brandon Staley. We've got Craig experience this Friday and an extra fan focus. So lots to go through, but let's start it off with the postseason presser from Tom Telesco. Tom was asked the question on Brandon Staley's first season as head coach. Tom said, I love the identity that we play with. I really do. I support him 100%. I'm a big believer in using data to make decisions, as is he. It doesn't mean that there isn't context involved in that. I mean, we're not robots, but we're trying to put our players in a position of strength and a position of advantage as much as we can. I love the identity that we play with. I know on the outside that not everyone may agree with how we play, but it's who we are, and I love it. That's what we are, and that's the way that we're going to play moving forward. You know what you get with us. We're going to play aggressive. It's not reckless. I really didn't see it as reckless. All of these decisions, even though they're made in real time, there's research involved in it prior to the game.
It's cool to hear Tommy T. It's just weird not hearing from him all season, and then you get to hear like, this is what I think about like what happened for months.
Right, yeah.
So the fact that he's all in, pun intended,
Yeah.
all in on Staley's aggressiveness and what they're doing, like, I think if we just prepare ourselves that this is what we're going to be, it'll be a lot easier to, half of the time it works, half of the time it doesn't. It'll be easier to deal with.
It's just so polar opposite from what we're used to, I guess.
So different.
So, but that's a good thing. That's what we've wanted. We wanted them not.
Right.
We didn't want them to hire another Mike McCoy or Anthony Lynn. We wanted something different because those guys weren't getting the job done. That's why they were fired.
Right.
Exactly.
So, yeah, I mean, let's go. Like, I love the aggressive style, and we have an identity. It's consistent.
Right. Yeah. Let's keep it going moving forward. And like Braden said in the interview that we had on the last episode, that we had a winning season. Like, I get that, we should be upset that we didn't get into the postseason, but we had a winning season. Last season we were 7-9. This year we were 9-8, and it is going to be a gradual move up. Like, obviously we want to win every single game, and I'm going to say it every time somebody asks me, like, what do you think we're going to get? We're going to win every single game.
We're going to win.
Yeah, it's going to happen. So, but it is going to be a gradual move up. We had a coach in his first year. We had Justin Herbert in his second year, and Justin Herbert still broke records playing out of his mind. And we had a new offensive coordinator, new everything, new coaching staff, and we did really well. So all things considered, I think it's just going to get that much better going forward. Telesco had this to say about receiver Mike Williams. He said, a great early career for us. I came down to the field for the Raiders game in overtime, and watching him play in overtime, he gave everything he had. He had nothing left by the time it got to the end of that game. If we would have won that game, it would have been a performance that we would have been talking about well after the fact. I'm thankful that we drafted him, and I'm thankful that he's here. We'll figure out the future moving forward, but he was a big part of this football team this year, and he has been in the past as well.
I listened to this hour-long press conference from Telesco, and he talked about a lot of things, but I just felt, maybe I'm reading too much into it, but it feels like there's going to get a contract done. Like, Telesco doesn't really wear his heart on his sleeve and doesn't talk about stuff too much.
Right.
But the way he kind of went back and kind of reminisced on moments from his time playing, especially this year, it's hard not to sign him after what he did this year.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just hoping they pull the trigger and get something done and just put this all to bed so we don't have to worry about it anymore.
Yeah, it was as he's listing all the things. It's like you're making an argument to keep this guy moving forward.
Don't
so,
talk yourself out. You're talking yourself into it. So
right, exactly.
keep going.
So yeah, that's great to hear from Telesco. And then Brandon Staley had this to say on developing relationships with his players. The way we competed in week 18 and the way we competed throughout the season shows you that we have a special thing. The way that our team competed this year, and I feel like the way we performed, is something that fans and people throughout the league are going to respect. I think that just shows you that these guys really love coming to work every day. They love coming to compete because they like who they're doing it with, and they like how we're doing it. We just need to continue to elevate our standard. These relationships, I think they allow you to stand the test of time. And I think it allows you to work through a lot of the challenges that the NFL season has, and there's a ton of them.
I guess we'll find out, right? Like, these guys talk. All these guys talk to other players and other teams. Free agency, we'll find out, like, how much our guys are advocating for, hey, come here and play.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, the Chargers have to dish out the cash. Like, you got to pay people to come. But,
Right.
Sure.
if you become a hot commodity, like, there's definitely players that they have a list. Like, these are the places I want to play.
Yeah.
And I'm not interested in playing in especially those veterans that have been in the league a long time. They're not going to go, like, if they've been in the league, they have enough money for generations. It's like,
Right.
I want to go, I know I'm going to get paid, but these are my 4 or 5 teams that I'm willing to go play for. And you'll find out if the Chargers are on that list.
Right.
And we'll find out pretty quick, which is exciting. It's like the proof is in the pudding kind of statement. Like, you don't have to say anything. It's like if we start seeing names connected to us, that says a lot more than any words could.
Yeah,
so that's the play on the field, translating to that.
Well, it'll be interesting because anybody that watched the All In episode saw, there was a segment of that episode that talked about how much these guys loved playing for Staley and how much the culture that he brought and the identity that he brought to the team, and they wanted to basically fight for him. And so that was cool to see. And now knowing that we're going into this off season with a bunch of money, like either the second most amount of cap space than any other team, and that there are teams that are going to be like double-digit millions over their cap limit going into this, that means there's going to be a lot of possible free agents out there that if they want to play and we want them, they're going to be coming on over to the Chargers. So I think this is going to be a really exciting offseason as far as who we end up picking up in that free agency.
100%.
It's crazy. I just looked up because we're talking about cap space and all that. It's like,
right.
Yeah, we have a lot of cap space. A lot of that's because of players that need to get re-signed and such.
Right.
I don't know. This is from Sport Track. It's showing that our dead cap space for next year is only $450,000.
Yeah. That worked. Yeah.
Like
and
dead
that's
cap
thanks to Tommy T.
Yeah, the Houston Texans, their dead cap, and I'm sure most of this is because of their quarterback. $35 million.
That's a lot.
Damn.
Like the New Orleans Saints, $12 million in dead cap. The Eagles, $22 million in dead cap.
Yeah.
That's a lot of players.
We have $450K in dead cap. Our money is going to our players.
Yes.
Yeah. Not people sitting on another team still getting paid or not in the league getting paid, Yeah. It's a good thing.
Yeah. I think the Saints and the Packers are going to be really hurting this offseason and going into next season as far as what they're going to do, because I think they're going to be well over the cap, and yikes. I wouldn't want to be in that situation.
Packers are an interesting one because they have some defensive studs over there. I think it's Zadarius something. There's a linebacker that we watched. I was like, damn, that'd be kind of fun to have. Like, you just start looking around and seeing these playoff games, and I'm looking for like, oh yeah, that'd be kind of nice. And you see these teams and what they have to work with, and they're going to have to make some tough decisions.
Right.
We'll see what those are.
Right. So all of it's really exciting stuff.
And we're sitting over here like, who do we want?
Yeah. Who would we pick? Yes. Staley went on to talk about the Chargers 2021 rookie class. He said, I'm really proud of our rookie class, guys. I think that when you take a look at it, if you study the NFL draft and you look at every team who had a draft class, all of our drafted players were active on game day this year. If you really take a look at that class and you dive deep into them, most of them had big roles on our team, whether it was a starter on special teams, a starter on our offense or defense. I think when you take a look at our first picks in the draft, our first pick in the draft, you're talking about an all-pro left tackle in his rookie season. It's something that this team, I know, has been searching for a long time, what every team has been searching for a long time. The fact that we have, and for tackle Rashawn Slater to play like he did this year, I think that's such an incredible testament to your first year together.
I didn't really did you guys know that all of our draft picks played in some capacity and contributed?
I mean, the only
not
one
only
that
played, they were on the active roster, right?
Right.
Yeah, that's
the only one that didn't get much play time, I think, was Mark Webb. I think he got injured earlier on in the season, one of the earlier
and
weeks.
Hymus didn't play.
And
very much
Hymus
at
didn't
all.
play very much. I mean, he played, apparently. He had a few snaps here and there, but
that's a 5th and 7th round pick,
Right.
you know?
But
And they were on active
everybody
roster
else,
still. They were backups. Nick Neiman
Absolutely.
played on special teams a lot. Chris Rumpf was starting on defense for
Yeah.
a while.
Yeah.
It's like these guys, like that's a solid draft class. They performed
They
as
contributed,
rookies at a
absolutely.
high level. Yeah.
Yeah.
100%.
So
I'm excited for the next one. Like
we're going to
we
have
have a lot
11 picks.
and granted, a lot of them are later in the draft, but like,
But
shit, dude, like
Those can
let's-
turn in, you can compound those and move up in the draft pretty quick.
right?
Yeah,
Yeah, if that's the way they want to do it. But either way, yeah, it's going to make everything, again, just another element that's going to be exciting this offseason.
Yeah. I'll say pretty confidently, we're going to turn some of those draft picks into higher picks.
Think so?
We're going to win now. We don't need 11 rookies. Like that's the last thing that the Chargers need. We need guys that are going to come in and we're going to win football games right now.
Sure.
yeah.
We don't need 5 4th round picks to come in and be projects. That's just not where we're at right now. We got to go win until we got to get paid Justin
$300 billion.
Yeah, whatever McDuck type of money.
Scrooge McDuck money.
Yeah.
All right. And then lastly, Staley, on building a complete team. There's a difference between being a talented team and a championship team. The goal is to become a complete team, and that's where we're headed as an organization and where we have full alignment with Dean Spanos, John Spanos, Tom Telesco, myself, our coaching staff, just becoming a complete team. There's a process to get there. This was our first year together, and I think that we got a lot closer to becoming a complete team in one off season together. Now we have got to take advantage of this coming off season because that's the challenge in the NFL and in all of sports, to be a complete team. We're working towards that. I'm excited to get going this 2022 season. Let's go.
I can't wait. It's just so hard because the season's over, but like I'm just so ready.
And the
for
next one is
football
so
again.
far away.
It's a way,
like-
it's a ways away, dude. Yeah.
I'll be 38 when Chargers play again. Oh
Grandpa.
God, the Charger game's on, honey.
Oh, back in my day.
Oh, shit. Baby.
You're gonna turn into Dick Vitale before the
Dick
next one.
Vitale in
I'll
one
be Dick
offseason.
Vitale, yeah. Either way, it is truly exciting when you take a step back and look at everything and just everything that can happen this off season, and we'll probably start seeing some moves here and pretty quickly. But I'm looking forward to all of it, and I love Staley being at the helm of it all.
100%.
All right. Well, we had to talk about this, or at least a little bit. Anybody that woke up and saw that there was some drama going on from TMZ with the Spanoses, Spani, Dean's nephews, Dimitri and Lex.
They sound like
Economu?
the Dimitri and Lex feel like they're in like John Wick in that bathhouse scene where like they're just
They
like
probably
the
were.
Russians.
They probably were.
Yeah, they just got. They're giving me a Dimitri and Lex vibe.
Yeah. Beneficiaries of the trust that owns a portion of the NFL team have accused Dean of secretly changing the trust, screwing them out of boatloads of money in the process. According to the lawsuit, according to the suit, here's the deal. The trust owns 36% of the Chargers. In addition, the trust is also partially funded by revenue from the stadium, and therein lies the problem. The Economus claim Dean convinced the family the move from San Diego to LA would be lucrative with the building of SoFi Stadium. the $5 billion state-of-the-art facilities where the Chargers play. However, Dimitri and Lex say Dean, with aid from brother, I don't think the brother was headtopics.com.
Head Michael.
With aid from brother Michael, surreptitiously diverted money from the trust, cutting them off from the stadium-related revenue, ticket sales, etc. FYI, Dean's dad, billionaire, purchased the team in 1984. So apparently Lex is the regional vice president of AG Spanos. Dimitri is the executive vice president of the Spanos Corporation, and Dimitri was interviewed a few years back about what he does with the company. What?
Sound like a couple of whiny rich babies.
It sounds that way, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Like you work for your family trust and you're complaining about getting cut out of more profit from your family trust. From your uncle being sneaky and secretively diverting money. It's like, Lex and Dimitri, you figured it out and nobody else in the trust figured this out?
Right.
Yeah.
I don't know.
You cracked the case, Dimitri and Lex.
This sounds like a fake news.
It's the first time you've ever kind of not been like jump on the train and say,
Believe me, I'm not pro
Bird.
Dean Spanos. I just don't believe in Lex and Dimitri cracking the case as to them diverting money away from them.
Let's see. So in that interview with Dimitri, the question was, tell us about AG Spanos and what makes your company unique. AG Spanos Company is a family-owned business, was founded by my grandfather in 1960 in Stockton, California, to build apartments in the region. Since then, it has grown into a national land development and construction company, but is still headquartered in Stockton. For the last 12 years, following my grandfather's retirement, the company is managed by my two uncles, while my brother and I run the company's construction activities in several states.
This was a very old interview I threw in here. This is back when, this was a while ago, but I wanted to show that they're very much involved with the company. They're not just like the outlier, nephews that are like hanging out playing Xbox. Like they're very much, if they're going to do something like this, it's going to affect their livelihood and what they're doing for work. I can't imagine you're going to go talk to the guy that runs the company and you're a VP of that. I'm suing you. Doesn't usually go well. So I'm just curious what they think they're going to accomplish, because they must have like a full confidence. We're going to get whatever we want out of this. It's going to be a done deal because you can't touch me because I'm going to have so much money. Like it's just a weird kind of drama that I don't know, dude. They're coming out.
Continues to surround the Spanos family.
It's still coming out. Like it's just they clearly are having some family issues right now.
Right. Some trust issues, apparently.
Yeah.
Double entendre. Issues. Did you pick up on that, Kevin?
The problem with a trust owning a team and not.
I see what you did there. Sorry, I got it. It took me a second. I just figured it out. A trust.
I don't know, man. It's just like I feel like this is going to continue to come up until they sell the team. It's just a never-ending going to be a money grab from the whole Spanos family.
They're not selling the team, unless they're being forced by people within their family to make them sell the team.
They will sell the team.
I don't think they will. Though every interview that they talk about is how important this legacy was for Grandpapa. And how we're not getting rid of the Chargers. This is his lasting legacy. Well, I would not get your hopes up that that's going to happen.
They will sell the team.
I mean, if the team is sold, it sounds like it's just going to get sold to another Spanos. These guys seem to like, I'm working with my uncle and he's the vice president and I'm the executive.
They don't have $3 billion to buy the team. The Los Angeles Chargers are worth
now that
$2.9 billion. Like they just bottom line, they don't have the money to own the team. Right. And eventually they will sell the team. It's gonna happen. Like $3 billion. Are you kidding me? They're gonna sell the team eventually. It'll happen.
We'll find out. But that's
the Spanos curse will be lifted.
That would be something. Hopefully it's just not even an issue moving forward, but something to keep an eye on this offseason, just a bit of drama. But now let's get out of the drama and go on over to the one and only Craig in Texas for the Craig Experience.
Oh yeah.
I don't like the face you made.
Yeah, that was weird, dude.
Come on in, man. Kick your feet up.
Oh,
Hello there. Make yourself at home. Got some stuff to talk about, right? Moving on.
If I egged my neighbor's car, do you think he would automatically assume I was the one that did it? I mean, it has Chiefs paraphernalia on it, so it would be kind of random. I'm gonna have to think this one over. Probably not the best of ideas, but could you blame me? CC gang, the biggest of salutes. And to the rest of the Bolt fam, what's going on? You got Craig in Texas, and welcome to another edition of the Craig Experience. And yes, my disdain for the Chiefs is well documented, and there'll be plenty of time to hate on them for the rest of the week. Let's go Bengals. But today, I want to focus a little bit on some of the areas that the Chargers should, in my opinion, focus on straight out of the gate, going into free agency, not playing around. And I do believe there's a very specific strategy and best way that I would go about handling it. Of course, I mean, I'm just an armchair GM. What do I really know? It's just my opinion, though. So let's chop it up a little bit, shall we? Now, you guys know exactly where I'm starting here. The defensive line, specifically the interior of it. Let's talk about, well, besides the fact that it scarred us, why it's so important to have that solidified. For a multitude of reasons. Because I believe, like a lot of old school football cats, that the war's won in the trenches, offensively and defensively. If you're talking O-line, QB's probably not going to have a ton of success when he's scrambling for his life. I mean, unless he just so happens to be Justin Herbert and it's Jesus and cleats. But hey, not everybody has that. Defensively, where the Chargers are concerned, a lot of areas that this helps to improve tremendously. You want to see the best Joey Bosa you've ever seen? Get him a capable 4-eye and a nose tackle. Offenses are going to have to line up and block Joey Bosa one-on-one. And I have yet to see an offensive tackle who can do that consistently over the course of a game. And then on the opposite side, it's probably going to be Chenna. I believe they'll bring him back, and they should. And if you listen to that Tom Telesco presser and the way he was gobbling Chenna up, you can almost be certain that he will be back. He adds a more athletic element, and you can do a bunch of things with him on that side. As far as linebackers are concerned at the second level, you keep those guys clean. It allows them to do things like shoot and fill gaps against the run, or run and chase if teams are running a whole lot of stretch outside zone stuff. And, it allows them to flow better, which helps a guy like Kenneth Murray, who needs to be kept clean because he's not all that great at shedding blocks. I mean, I'm putting that mildly. He's not good at all at shedding blocks, but he is a tremendous athlete, and it'll help him grow and improve in that role. Hopefully, but I believe it will. In the secondary, the less time you have to cover, the better your coverage is probably going to be. If that line can get penetration against the pass, then quarterbacks are going to have to be on their horse and getting the ball out quickly. So just all the way around makes sense, which is why it's what they need to attack first and foremost. So it's not rocket science. And rolling right on into the secondary, yeah, they got to do something about the CB position. Corner is a tricky thing with the Chargers because going into this year, we felt like Vato would thrive in the system because we thought it would play more to his strengths, but he had a rough transition and a lot of stuff happened between COVID and, some other stuff. It wasn't the best Michael Davis we'd seen. I mean, he flashed, but it wasn't consistent. And that's kind of been a thing throughout his career. We have to be really, really careful about the Asante Samuel Jr. thing because ASJ had 2 concussions this year. And one of the major things that a Staley defense requires are corners who can come up and run support. Now, if you want to guard Zont a little bit, it may be a better idea to put him in the slot, in which case you probably need a new CB1. Because I think Michael Davis at this point could be a good CB2. So I feel like you should address that in the draft. Whereas with the defensive line, you could probably knock that out in free agency because they have some guys that are coming up that have some experience in Brandon Staley's system that would fit like hand in glove. So in the secondary, you could probably find a CB1 in the first round. Got some really good ones, and they actually have some really good ones that you may be able to get early in the second as well. If you can get Derwin James a running mate at safety too, that would be awesome. I mean, not just Nasir. I'm talking about like one of those big nickel dudes. If Mark Webb's the guy, then perfect. But if not, if you can get somebody, like there's someone else in free agency that I'm a little high on, last name Peppers, played for the New York Giants recently, that you could use in a Derwin-like role and allow Derwin to roam the box and be a complete menace that offenses have to account for play in and play out. If you notice, there's a bit of a theme here. Chargers could definitely do some damage in free agency. Just depends on how aggressive old Telesco wants to be, because I'm sure Brandon Staley has his picks. So we'll see how that goes. Oh, yeah. Offensive tackle. Yeah. We're probably not going into next season with Storm Norton as the guy. I think it's probably safe to say that. If you want to have Trey Pipkins compete, I'm perfectly fine with that because he proved himself in 2 really big moments last season, and it was really encouraging to see the development there. Hats off to him and Frank Smith and the rest of that offensive line staff. It's a tremendous job. But I think the Chargers can probably find a very significant player for that role in maybe the second round. There are a couple guys, and like I said, when we get closer to that time, there's some names that I'm going to throw out there where the Chargers don't necessarily have to utilize a first-round pick in order to get it done. So if you want to have Pipkins in there competing with the new dude, perfect. Worst case scenario, you have strong competition and quality depth. And that is the magic word, depth. So ultimately, I think the Chargers can do a ton of damage in free agency and supplement that through the draft. And technically, it's kind of like the other way around. You know, you want to build through the draft, supplement through free agency, but it's kind of like on a case-by-case basis. And I think a lot of what the Chargers need, which starts with the defensive line, they can get in free agency. So, gotta wait until March to see how this goes, but just my take on it. All right, Bolt fam. I will get you out of here with a question for my brothers in Boltfam. Fellas, what would you rank the Chargers' positions of need from 1 to 3? Defensive line, corner, offensive tackle. Top to bottom, tell me what you got. Until next time, you all know what it is. It's Mr. Bolt Gang or Don't Bang of the CC Gang. And Mr. Top Flight over on Twitter, TOP_FLYT3. And catch me at the flight deck and charge it to the game. Until the next time, man, catch y'all in. Okay, love you, bye.
All right, Craig. Way to take a nice analysis about everything.
You're a cool
that we've
dude.
got. And damn it, you're too cool. It's not
too cool.
fair.
Just too fucking cool, man.
You are too cool for school, dude. All right. Well, your question was positions of needs 1 to 3. What do you guys think?
It's hard because we have so many free agents.
We do.
You could say linebacker is a big position in need because Chin is not signed. Kaiser is not signed. Kyler Fackrell is now a free agent. Like, our linebacker position is really weak as it stands right now, what our roster is.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But if you're assuming the guys that they're bringing back are going to actually come back, I think it's D-line, O-line, corner. Those are kind of, that's my 1, 2, 3.
I was about to say the exact same thing. D-line, right tackle specifically.
Yeah,
and secondary, because Chris Harris, I don't think he's coming
Chris Harris
back.
is gone. Yeah, Chris Harris will be gone.
So they just got to figure out what they're going to do. Like he said, what they're going to do with Derwin, how they want to utilize him the best, and then you can bring in people to cover the things that he shouldn't be at the back of the play, not always involved.
Yeah,
Right.
well, I think that was never the plan, but
Just
like
got forced into it.
Yeah, because of like injuries, COVID, and not having your starting 11 always out there. Like our 5 DBs, like if you're a nickel, our starting 5 DBs were very rarely ever on the field together.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So Derwin got forced into positions that coach had to play him at spots that because they didn't have guys that were ready to play at other spots. So
Mhm.
yeah, I think it was Chris Harris leaving. That's going to be a big spot to fill, and how they do it is going to be really important.
Right.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
would be surprised if there's a really good cornerback somewhere in the beginning part of the draft that is just kind of sitting there. Would not be surprised if they went that direction either.
Absolutely.
Well, you can also get that slot corner for not like huge money. You know,
Mhm.
like you could fill that spot with what you were paying Chris Harris or less with a vet.
Yeah.
So it'll be interesting to see.
It will be, yeah. It's all going to depend on how. I mean, we've said it every year. Once we get in the off season, it's like, okay, well, who are we going to keep? Who are we going to let go? Who are we going to pick up? That determines the draft, and even after the draft, there's still possibilities of picking guys up in free agency, and how much of that money are we going to start spending? And it really is a crapshoot. But yeah, I would have to agree that as far as those positions of need, I almost switch like the 2 and the 3 of the line and the corner, because I feel like the line at least was able to really hold itself for the better part of the year. And defensively, I feel like that was where we kind of struggled the most was defensively. I feel like offense did a pretty damn good job. So
Sure.
but
And
it
it's
all
also-
depends.
It was cause and effect too. Like the defensive line not getting
Sure,
to the
yeah.
quarterback puts more pressure on what the secondary is doing. So
Very
you
true.
fix that D line. You fix number 1, number 2 or 3, however you slice it, is going to get better.
Right. That's very true. So, all right. Well, damn it, Craig. Thank you, as always, for coming
Love it.
on and
Yeah, you're the best, man.
and giving us a great experience. And we have our next segment is a second fan focus this week. This one is pretty special. We've talked about this guy before, and I'm excited to hear what he's got to say. Let's go on over to Fan Focus Part 2.
All right, guys, we are back with another fan focus, and we are super pumped to have Cory from San Diego. What's going on, Cory?
What's going on, my man? I'm doing great.
Good. I'm glad to hear it, man. I'm pumped. So let's find out more about you, dude. I want to find out how Cory became a Charger fan. How'd you become a Charger fan?
Charger, basically born into it. Born and raised in San Diego. My mom was a pretty big Charger fan. I mean, she was a Charger fan, didn't watch it too much, but I got hooked as a kid. Maybe first game was 4 years old. And from there, it was just die hard all the way. When they moved, I was one of those at first. I'm like, man, forget them. I'm not going to be a fan. First year, I didn't watch him. And then I found myself like, I can't do this anymore. So
you were just like, gotta get back in it.
I got it. So I was like, all right, I'm going to watch, but I'm going to stream it so I don't give any money to them.
Okay.
And I'm going to do what I can. And after that, it was just like, it's my team. It's not their fault. They're my boys and I love them. And the passion just came right back.
I love it. That's a good way. That's a good way to look at it, man. It's like the players didn't choose that. I love it for the players. I don't love it for the ownership. I love it for the players and the team and how they make me feel on Sundays.
Spanos and yeah, exactly. It helped that Rivers was still there. Gates was there for a little bit, so you still have some of that carryover of that San Diego bloodline. And the players are who I watch, who I pay attention to, who I buy merchandise for. It's not Spanos family and all them. So
yeah, for sure. Well, we're glad to have you on this episode because we're at a tough spot because Chiefs just won, the Bengals won. It's like this crazy shit sandwich we're in the middle of right now of like they're gonna talk about us. It's gonna be Burrow is better than Herbert because he got to the AFC Championship game, and then we're not gonna hear the end of the Chiefs. So where are you at mentally with AFC and this AFC Championship game?
First, let me say even before we lost to KC in overtime, I was at that game. They need to change the damn overtime rules because especially a game like that last night where both of them just going crazy.
Yeah.
And then dude doesn't have a chance at the end to even, to score anything. It was just like with us at SoFi. It's all the coin toss, and that was it. And the games were amazing to watch. I mean, Joe Burrow, he had an average game. I don't know who I want to win, obviously. I'm rooting full NFC.
Yeah.
No matter what now,
I'm with
because
you.
screw Joe Burrow and screw the Chiefs even more. So if between those two, I guess KC, because I've already dealt with it.
I've
already dealt with the fan bases.
Yeah, with
and it'd be easier to deal with than all these people saying Burrow's way better than Herbert. Herbert's trash. I can't deal with that slander. I've been a fan of him since Oregon, so I can't deal with the slander. So I'm going KC just for the fact that they've already done it. They've won.
That's good perspective. I was kind of leaning the other way, but then I was like, you know what? Like, I'm on Twitter too much. I can't handle this shit. I can't handle
exactly
all unnecessary
all those
articles.
Bengal fans are coming.
Yeah,
it's gonna happen. So I'm rooting for KC. I think they'll do it.
Yeah, for sure. So, all right. Well, what did you think of, this last season was exciting. New head coach, new schemes, new offensive coordinators, new everything. Like, what were some of the things this season that you took away? Like, damn, this is awesome. This is going to be fun to be a Charger fan moving forward in the future.
Well, number one thing I think some people don't. I like the gutsy ball play from Staley. Like, especially with Lynn before that, it was 4th and 1 on our own 48, and he'd punt it. We had no aggressiveness, so that was huge. I think that's going to carry over. Maybe not as much. I think because of the pressure he had, especially during the KC game. Like, I think the following game he even cut back a little bit.
Yeah,
but I like that. The O-line was way more improved, and I think this offseason we might tweak it a little bit. But Lombardi, I went back and forth on him throughout the season, but I think he's good. I want steadiness for Herbert, so I don't want any of those coaches. I don't want anybody to leave, even if they're crappy off and on next year. I want him to have that consistency so he can grow, because it doesn't help when you have new people joining your system every single day.
Sure.
So it's a lot better than the last 8-10 years.
No, for sure. Like,
that we've had.
People get on coach for the aggressiveness, man. But like, I'm watching it as a Charger fan. I'm like, they're trying to fucking win. They want to win this game. They're not trying to just settle and get comfortable. And it's just a different feeling as a Charger fan, because I feel like there's so many years where we just let shit just slip away. And coach is like, nope. It says, if it's gonna slip away, it's gonna be because of me, not because of you. Just punting it to you all the time. So it's
why you can't win with fans. Yeah, you can't win with fans, because when we had Lynn, especially Lynn, who was so conservative, never went for it, never, ever, ever. They all cried about it and they hated it and they wanted what Staley does. And now that Staley does it, you're not going to always convert. It's professional football.
Yeah.
So it's not going to happen. So they hate it when he doesn't, and then they love it when he does. In the KC game, maybe I was hoping for maybe 1 or 2 field goals, but in the end, it is what it is. It's who he is. He follows the analytics, and it's going to take us to the end. This whole system with Herbert, and I think if it's not next year, maybe the following year.
No, I'm with you for sure. And, in terms of your, what you're looking for in the off season, like what are the kind of the things that you get most excited about with the off season? Is it the draft? Is it like the Senior Bowl? Like, what is the thing you're like, shit, let's go? What's the next Charger thing for you?
My favorite thing in all sports is free agency. Is just so fun. I love free agency. The draft, it just depends on, we're kind of middle of the pack in the first round. So the draft is always kind of fun, but it's just the whole free agent thing for me. I love just who's going to go there. Even in the NBA, it's exciting to know who's going to get who and where they're going to go. And I want to see what Tom does this year. I mean, he made some decent pickups during the season, but they're small, we're big players. We need to make some big moves to focus on the defense. So it's that. And I'm going to try to go to training camp this year, if I can hit a couple times up there.
No, for
if
sure.
I'm able to. We'll see how I'm doing when that comes around. Yeah.
No, for sure. Yeah, I definitely want to go to that. That's on my bucket list. Got to get a whole bunch of shit signed. That's my goal. So, let's talk a little bit about you. I know you're going through some tough stuff right now, and you have a GoFundMe to kind of help you out. So, kind of tell the audience kind of like what's going on with you, and what's happening.
About 2 months ago, I think it was. I had gotten sick, and I'm the type of person that doesn't ever want to go to the hospital unless I'm 10 seconds away from dying. But my girlfriend isn't. So she made me go. And when looking, they had found that I had colon cancer, and it was only stage 2, which is, obviously I was panicked a bit, but and you don't until I started going and meeting with specialists, stuff like that. And then I quickly realized, like, holy crap, this is super expensive. And what makes it worse is my insurance that I had changed once I turned 26. I'm 26. It just changed in May. So my insurance now is pretty crappy. And so we were handling it. I had some help with our awesome Bolt family and stuff. And then I went out to Nevada to see a specialist during the game against the Raiders. I saw them on Tuesday, and I found out that it's growing, not at a extremely fast rate, but it's still growing. So I'm gonna have to do treatments more often, possibly some radiation. Depends. We'll see on that one. I don't want to lose my hair, and more medications, more doctor visits. And so at this rate, even, I don't know how this fundraising is going to go. But at this point, it's like, if I don't get help, I don't know where I'm going to go.
Yeah. Well, what's, Bolt family, that's what we do, man. We want to help our own. So, I know you have a GoFundMe, so people can go over there and donate and help out. And then you'd mentioned that you're going to put together a raffle to give away some jerseys to try and help raise some funds. So tell us a little bit about that.
It's going to be a choice of a Derwin jersey, Bosa, and Keenan Allen jersey. There'll be 2 winners. I don't know if I should do $10 or $15 an entry. I'm still debating on that. If you have a suggestion, and then it would go for about a week, and I would pick 2 winners, unlimited entries. So if you want to enter as much as you can, and then I would just have everything sent to my Venmo and have my girlfriend help me draw names out, put them in a hat or bucket, and pull 2 out.
Well,
ship it.
I think it's time to, always good to have a Charger jersey, and it's always good to help out Bolt family, man. We're really pulling for you, and we want to do what we can to help you through this tough time, man. So if you're on Twitter, go check them out. It's Bolt Gang Baby. Love that name, by the way. Solid handle.
Thank you. Thank you.
So yeah, go check them out, and we'll retweet everything that you post, and then go get a jersey. It's for a great cause, and it's going to help Cory out. So we'd really appreciate it.
Me too. Thank you, guys.
No, absolutely. And dude, it was so fantastic meeting you. Let's go out on I want to find out, what is your best Charger memory?
Best Charger memory. Okay. Well, I got a couple. Let me shoot out 2 real quick. Last game I went to at Qualcomm was LT's retirement.
Oh, damn.
Or not his jersey retirement. And that place was like 95% Charger fan, filled to the brim of the queue, and it was super awesome. And then I was at the Darren Sproles championship game way back in the day.
Oh, wow.
And I was a little kid over there. And I was at the LT record breaking game as well.
Oh my God.
So I happened to
see some stuff.
Back then, I didn't go to too many games, but the games I happened to go to just happened to be like big time games, you know?
Yeah.
So even if I wasn't a big fan then, that just smacks you in the face and you're like, you can't help it.
Yeah.
So those are probably, the best moments I had. The Chiefs game was awful. Those fans can.
Yeah, I'm with you.
Cheering Parham's injury, man.
Yeah, I know.
Oh my God. You guys talked about it. Oh my.
Yeah,
that was brutal. But yeah, those times were great times.
Absolutely, man. Well, let's get a lot more. So let's go help Cory out, and yeah, man, let's keep interacting on social media. We love chatting with you. So let's do it, and hopefully we'll see you super soon.
Most definitely. Sounds great, man. Appreciate it.
Thank you so much for your time, man. We'll talk to you later.
All right, go Bolts.
Wow, Cory. I mean,
brave dude.
Very brave. I mean, I can't imagine being in that situation and to come on and chat with Kevin and to put together this kind of raffle, I think is awesome. I think this is a really great way to interact with the Bolt fam, because it is the Bolt fam. I love the Bolt fam. The Bolt fam really steps up for each other. Absolutely. And yeah, I couldn't think of a better group of people to reach out to. So Thank you for coming on and sharing your story, dude. And so thankful to have you on, bud. And like Kevin said, we're going to definitely be retweeting everything. If you guys can enter that raffle, I think that's going to be a great thing to be a part of.
And if you're watching on YouTube, you can go check out the description where there's a link to his GoFundMe. I'm sure he'll appreciate anything you can help him out with. So just stay tough in there, dude. Keep fighting the fight, and we'll do what we can to help you, brother.
Absolutely. We'll definitely be rooting
Bolt
for you
up,
on the
man.
sideline. Yeah. Bolt up, baby. All right. Well, I think that's going to do it for us here for this episode of Charger Chat. Any final thoughts, gentlemen?
I just don't want the Chiefs to win. I just don't want them to win.
I know. Yeah. I don't either.
Just don't want it to happen. I can't. I'm gonna have to leave. I'm gonna have to leave the state.
Can't send Staley to school. He'll get in some fights.
Yeah, he starts shit with Chiefs fans. He's like, ugh. Like he's super subtle with it now. He doesn't even talk shit. He's like, ugh. Peasants. That shit out of my face.
I love it.
Love that guy.
All right. Well, that's going to do it for us here at the Charger Chat, folks. Don't forget to bolt up because we're ready for any squad, any place.
Okay, love you. Bye.
Okay, love you. Bye.
Okay, love you. Bye.